I want to get right to it. We are excited about what's about to happen here. And so without further ado, please welcome to the stage the head of social media for Panasonic, Miss Ashley Mance.
Awesome, thank you so much. Get that in there. Awesome, well, thank you so much for having us. If you don't know, Panasonic has actually been a sponsor of the Games for about more than 45 years now. We are thrilled to support the Olympic and Paralympic movement, to continue to support the local community here in Lake Placid with the training center, and ultimately our athletes all around the world. I'm so excited about this conference, and we are so aligned with our Green Impact campaign at Panasonic and with the conference theme, which is why we chose to sponsor it, was Save Winter. The Panasonic Green Impact Initiative is really about taking direct action to counteract the effects of climate change on our planet. And Panasonic is doing that by reducing our CO2 emissions and trying to achieve net zero in all of our operations by 2030. So with me here today, if you haven't heard, is one of our Green Impact ambassadors who probably needs no introduction, but he is a 3-time world champion and 6-time US national champion in figure skating, Team Panasonic's very own Nathan Chen.
Thanks, everyone. So, one of the main missions of Panasonic is to challenge and inspire the company to be its best and to help change the world for the better. This includes a focus on a challenge that's also extremely important to myself and for all of us here, climate change. To be a champion, whether at the Olympics or in life, you need to set a goal and then do everything you can in your power to achieve that goal. When it comes to the climate crisis, scientists have set a target to limit global warming to no more than 1.5 degrees Celsius. But right now, the science suggests that the increase in global temperature is more likely to be as high as 2.5 degrees Celsius. That seemingly small increase will likely have extremely negative consequences. It's been really incredible to hear the words of climate activists and scientists here, and I know that together we can make the difference to put an end to the climate crisis. Individually, we can all do our part by ensuring that the daily choices in our life consider how we can reduce our emission of heat-trapping gases. However, it isn't just about how we as individuals take actions to put an end to the climate change, but how we as a society can create infrastructure to allow for a cleaner, greener future. It is important that global corporations, our elected leaders, and people in positions of power create the change that we need to see. That's why I'm proud to work with Panasonic to help address this urgent issue, and I hope that this initiative can spur on greater engagement globally amongst our larger corporations. If we don't act now and work together, everything we love could be at risk. Now, to share more about Panasonic's commitment to making a positive impact, I invite you to watch this message from me and my fellow brand ambassadors, Naomi Osaka and Michael Phelps. Everything we know.
Everything we do.
Everything we love might well be at risk. The time for action is now.
Together, we can make a difference. We can be champions. Champions for sustainability.
Champions for each other.
Champions for the earth.
That video gives me chills every time I watch it, and you're probably going to hear me say that in about 2 seconds. I do want to apologize on behalf of Panasonic. We plan to have a live discussion here today. One of my colleagues, unfortunately, has COVID, so we can't have the live discussion, but we did just have this same discussion last week about creating a more greener, equitable future alongside with Nathan, so we're going to play that back for you today. So please enjoy, and thank you. I mean, wow. It's gives me chills every time I see it. So Nathan, thank you for being part of this campaign. Why did you choose to take part in it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so inspired by all the efforts that Panasonic has been doing to create a greener, more sustainable future. I know that individuals have a lot of power in putting an end to the climate crisis, but it's also so up to large corporations, to politicians, to global leaders, to create solutions to put an end to the climate crisis. So I'm really, again, inspired by all the work that Panasonic is doing and being a global leader in that.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of that, Jeff, you're in DC. You spent a lot of your career around this. I mean, what are your thoughts on climate change?
So I think you can tell by what we have going on here that we're at a tipping point, right? I think the sense of urgency is there. I see it in Washington, I see it with policymakers, I see it in companies. And I think companies like ours, and I think Panasonic is leading the way here on with our green impact. We recognize our role within this problem in addressing this crisis. I think as a company, we've done the math. We know that about 1% of global emissions are, we have some role in that. So it is beholden to us to come up with these targets that we've set. We have we're talking about a lot here this week, our green impact. We have net zero pledges for our supply chain facilities by 2030, scope 3 by 2050. And then we're looking at this concept too of avoided emissions, which I think is a really interesting one, and one that I think really plays into our business plan, right? Solar panels, EV batteries, solutions for more efficient traffic patterns. These are all things that are going to go towards addressing this crisis, which I don't, it's a consensus view now that this is something we have to address.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it touches every point of interaction in our lives. And Nathan, so you're from Salt Lake City. I mean, do you see what's happening in Salt Lake? Do you see it in your community at all?
Yeah, so I'm from Salt Lake City. I was raised there. And it's my home, it's so near and dear to my heart. And I actually just came from Utah before coming here. And my family, while we're in Utah, are very conscientious about our water usage because it's been shown that the Great Salt Lake is drying and a lot of the mountain water runoff is being diverted away from the Great Salt Lake. And there's a lot of toxic chemicals and toxic material in the Great Salt Lake, so if that becomes airborne, it could possibly make Utah a very inhospitable place. And that's a future, of course, that I can't see happen. It's my home, that's where we belong, and it would be just really challenging to see something like that happen.
Yeah. I mean, when we're talking about local communities, I think back to KM and our basic business principles. Contribution to society, continual improvement. I mean, how do we fit equitability for local, smaller communities into this equation, Jeff?
Yeah, I think it really does fit well with our founder and the principles that we've laid out, in particular contribution to society. I think a lot of the businesses that we're in, EV batteries, solar, this is going towards contributing towards a reduction of CEO and through CO2. And, we talk about equitability within the climate debate. And really the people that are on the front line in terms of the impact are those communities that are at risk, that are underserved. So these are our customers, these are our employees. And it's I think a responsibility to address this. And I think that's where it gets to where equitability comes in. I think we as a company, we're taking it very seriously.
Yeah, that's great. So we hear a lot about the 1.5 degrees Celsius threshold. Can you kind of explain that a little bit? What does that mean?
So I think what we need is a science-based target. And that's, I think, there's the consensus that we've come to that 1.5, avoiding getting to 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels is something we need. It's not an exact, but it's a target. And I think that allows us, within our discussions across business, with governments, within the COP27 process, something that we can aim towards. So we all have our responsibilities. Again, we talked a bit about earlier, Panasonic having 1% of global emissions. That gives us something that we can aim for. And again, there is a consensus.
So the time to act for businesses is now?
I think, yes, it's now. We've been making sustainable products for 100 years, right? So I think this isn't new for us, but I think we're really I think doubling down and making this a kind of a core component across all of our business lines.
Yeah. Nathan, is this something that you talk to your friends or family about? Or does this come up in conversation?
Yeah. I see it in the news, I see it on social media, and there's a lot of, actually a good amount of engagement and conversation around ways in which to end the climate crisis. And I've been really inspired by my generation in the knowledge and the passion that they have to find these solutions to put an end to the climate crisis. But again, yeah, there's no better time than now to continue working towards a more greener, sustainable future.
Yeah, I mean, does it shape the way you kind of talk about the future with your friends and family, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of things, again, like I said, individuals can do a lot of things to put an end to the climate crisis. Single-use plastics is a big thing, of course. Being conscious of water, reducing your meat consumption. There's a whole list of things that individuals can do. But again, it also comes back to global, corporations and then leaders to also continue, like Panasonic, to create these really impactful solutions for consumers to be able to inherently create a greener, sustainable future.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, over the course of your career, Jeff, how have you seen the climate conversation change?
So I think it was, 1995 for the first Conference of Parties, and that was sort of a revolutionary step, kind of coming together on the government level. I think over that 20, 25 years since it's been, there's been progress made. It's been slow, but there's a constant target, and I think that with companies, I think, increasingly stepping up and playing an important role, I think that's going to help us move it forward. I'm really proud of the partnership that we have with Nathan and Team Panasonic. I think that really helps a company like Panasonic elevate what we're doing and the overall cause of addressing climate change. But it's something that, we're going to continue to have to keep an eye on the prize, right? It's not something that's going to be fixed in the next Congress or next year, right? This is something that we're going to be dealing with for quite a long time. But I think the more that we are talking about it like we're doing here at CES, I think the more that it'll keep the focus on the issue. And that's all the better.
Yeah, I totally agree. And thank you both for this conversation today. It is so important that we're having this discussion. But before we wrap up, Nathan, you are one busy person. You're finishing at Yale last semester. You're writing books now, one jump at a time. I mean, winning gold medals. How do you do it? How do you fit this all in?
I mean, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a journey. This figure skating journey so far has just been so fulfilling, and just loved every process of it. And yeah, now I've written this book about my career, about all the people that have helped me. It's certainly not a solo effort. A lot of people have supported me, guided me throughout the years. So, I tried my best to highlight all these characters in my book, and yeah, it's been a really fun journey.
Awesome. Well, I have read it, and it is really great. But thank you for being a part of the Green Impact campaign. Thank you for joining me today. Nathan will be doing a book signing at 3 o'clock, I think, right here. So come back in a little bit. But thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Conversation. Excellent. Okay, so now we have a little surprise for everyone. Nathan is going to be giving away a few copies of his book. So, exactly. It's great that you came back, right? Okay, awesome. And so now Laura's telling me that he is actually going to sign these for you right here, whoever wins them. Now, I want to say something. There is not a global sports event on the planet that ever gets done without great volunteers. And so if you would please allow me to recognize Laura as one of the great volunteers here. Unbelievable. Thank you for helping me. And thanks for being here and doing everything you do. Okay, so what Laura did and the team back there was, I believe they put some names in a hopper. They spun the hopper and they pulled out the names, okay? So it's completely random. You got it? Hey, Nathan, how are you? Good to see you. All righty, and so here are the names. When I read your name, you come on down and grab your book, and then I believe Nathan's going to sign it for you. So the first winner is Jillian Kern. Jillian Kern, come on down. All right. Yeah, come on. How about this, Jillian? Pretty good? Okay. Awesome. Next, come on up, Brandon Ma. Hey. Come on up here, Brandon. Oh, we got to pick a photo right here with Dad. I know that feeling. I have too. Great stuff. Okay. Next, Will Seafrid. Come on, Will. Where are you? Yeah. Will is running. All right. Good stuff, Will. Next, Matt Troy. Come on down, Matt. Oh, Matt's running the camera here. Good for you, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You too. Excellent. Okay, 4 down, 4 to go. Next, come to the stage, please, Carolyn Dodd. Where's Carolyn? There she is. Fantastic. 3 more. Where is Jackie Boren or Jackie Brown? Not quite sure what it is. Bowen. Okay, Jackie, come on in. All righty, 2 to go here. Looking for Zarella. Zarella, please come to the stage. There she is. Zarella, pretty exciting? All right. Okay. And our final book, this is really great stuff. Susan V. Ah, another one of our volunteers. Great. Great stuff. Nathan, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for what you just did for everybody, okay? Good luck with everything. All righty. Nathan Chen, everyone, Olympic champion. And thank you as well, Ashley, for being here for Panasonic.